Hey, what is going on? Just wanted to hop on real quick and talk about this Tua injury. Many years ago, I think it was like 2011, 2012, maybe 2013. I watched a documentary on PBS. I believe it was called A League of Denial, and it basically spoke about the NFL's concussion issue that it had. And let's fast forward to today, where we have Tua, I think it's Tagovailoa, who is a former Alabama quarterback and the star quarterback for the Dolphins. He had a horrific injury tonight. He looks like he injured his neck and his head. Not sure if it's really a serious neck injury, but it didn't look good. I guess he had some peculiar movement in his fingers, and it's a possible second concussion within 5 days. I think he had a concussion on Sunday, and they may have labeled it, the Dolphins may have labeled it as a back injury. And there's something called second impact syndrome, whereas if you get a concussion and then you get another concussion before you have fully recovered from the first concussion, then that could have lasting effects to the point where you might never recover, just from what I've heard and I've read before. I mean, that might be the least of his concerns. I'm not sure if it's a serious neck injury, then who knows? But, since we usually talk about finances on this particular platform, let's talk about the political, about the financial aspect of this. These teams parade these guys out knowingly, and it's been going on for years, hiding injuries, sweeping things under the rug in order to parade injured players out there. Yeah, sure enough, you ask one of these guys if they want to play. Yeah, they're going to say they want to play. But for years, they have supposedly taken it out of the hands of the athlete, because the athlete isn't going to make the best decision for himself. Regardless, athletes have even said they would go back knowing the symptoms and knowing the long-lasting impact that their injuries have had on the rest of their lives after their football careers are over. They even go back and say they wouldn't change a thing. So they think that the devastation that has been caused by playing football throughout the years is completely worth all of the damage that they've done, even when these guys are having headaches all the time and they're frequently experiencing, dementia-like symptoms. What is ASL or whatever it's called, Lou Gehrig's or whatever. They still say they would go back and do what they could, or do the same thing they did. And you got to protect these guys from themselves. So to throw somebody back on the field 5 days after a concussion and to lie about it, there's going to be some heads that roll. There could be plenty of heads that roll. If you ask Tua if he want to play, of course he's going to say he wants to play. Otherwise, he's not going out on his shield. He's not a warrior. He's not a soldier. He's a wuss. That's what the narrative will be. That he's not earning his check. That's what the narrative will be. So, of course, there is implied pressure. There's like a built-in, almost like indirect bullying, right? Like, you better play. And for them to lie about his status, to lie and say that this man had a back injury when anybody with common sense knew he had a concussion, to me is unfathomable. I don't understand how they could even get away with it. But the fact that the NFL allowed him to play, I think they're just as culpable as the Dolphins. You're supposed to have these neutral doctors making these decisions, but we know that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. So the almighty dollar is, possibly going to affect this young man for the rest of his life. Who knows? Hopefully he recovers. Hopefully it's nothing that's too serious. But if it's a serious deal and this man has long-lasting effects from it, all for a better record, all for money, that's despicable. It's despicable. But I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. I already know some people are going to say, oh, you know what you sign up for when you sign on a dotted line. But, I'm an educator. And when things outside of our control happen to us within those four walls, we don't deserve it, We don't deserve it. Firefighter, police officer, when they get injured or die on the job, sure, they know what they signed up for, but they don't deserve what happens to them, They didn't earn any death or any injury. We can still empathize with them, We can still empathize with anybody who goes out there and is injured or dies on any battlefield. Soldiers know what they sign up for, but that doesn't mean that the death or the maiming of any soldier is not painful and should not have happened. So I know Tua makes a lot of money to play football, but it's not right. It's not right for him to be sent out there a wounded soldier, a wounded athlete. That's not right. But tell me what you guys think, all right? I appreciate you guys.